is turning out to be
We've
true.
got Captain Shalini Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party joining. Our reporter was doing the Bhangra. I'm wondering whether she's celebrating too, because 89 out of 117 seats, this is one of the most emphatic victories by any political party in Punjab's electoral history. It is historic what we're seeing in Punjab at this time. Do you hear me, ma'am?
See, the people of Punjab has clearly... Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you well. Please go on.
Can you hear me?
I hear you strength 5. Please go on, ma'am.
Yes. So, so the people of Punjab have clearly chosen the Kejriwal model of governance. They want good governance, and we are very grateful to the people of Punjab for giving us a chance to change the face of Punjab, to develop Punjab. So it's the citizens of Punjab, I would say, and definitely the Kejriwal government, the Bhagwant Mann as the leader of Punjab now will be the new CM, and I'm very sure that we will bring the much needed change to the people for.
What's happening in Uttar Pradesh? Charu Pragya joins us of the BJP. History being written. 261 leads for the BJP at this time. Yogi Adityanath overturning 3 decades and more of political history by being voted back to power by the people of his state. What a phenomenal victory this is for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh. Many congratulations, Charu, and welcome.
Absolutely, and thank you so much. And I am very happy currently, and I want to start by thanking our leadership, thanking Modi ji and every single karyakarta who's worked on ground now, not just for the elections, but throughout 5 years. So ours is a party which has stood with the people of Uttar Pradesh through thick and thin. Ours is a party which has worked very hard on ground to transform the lives of people as much as we can in the short space of time that we were given. And I'm delighted Yogi ji has written history. After 36 years, the Chief Minister is getting repeated in Uttar Pradesh, and that is only thanks to Modi ji's brilliant policies, which wants to help every single Indian, and Yogi ji's implementation of these policies.
Let's look at those numbers. We've got, sorry, Rahul, I crossed.
Go on, please.
But there are some type graphics that have come finally on Uttar Pradesh, where we can do a deep dive region by region in this fascinating state of Uttar Pradesh. First, take a look at vote share. Let's take a look at the vote share graphics. 14% is Mayawati. That's down about 6% last time. 32% is Akhilesh Yadav, which is the highest ever the Samajwadi Party has got. But this, of course, is an alliance with smaller parties. So we'll have to see what their individual vote share is. BJP is 43%. Remember, they were 49% last time, they are 43% this time. Congress 4%. No,
that's a wrong comparison. That's a wrong comparison. Compare with the
just a minute. Arey, mere ko complete to karne do. 42% with allies in 2017. They are up to 43%.
Can we go to Manish Sisodia? Rajdeep, just a moment. Manish Sisodia speaking at this time.
पर खरे उतरेंगे लोगों के
भगवंत मान जी भी खरे उतरेंगे और ओवरऑल आम आदमी पार्टी का एक कार्यकर्ता इस बात को लेकर समर्पित है कि केजरीवाल जी ने जो देश को राजनीति की दिशा दी है कि सरकार बनाए, जनता से मौका मांगे, वोट ना मांगे, जनता से मौका मांगे, और जब जनता मौका दे तो फिर उनके बच्चों के पढ़ाने के लिए काम करें, उनके इलाज के लिए काम करें, उनकी नौकरियों के लिए काम करें, महिलाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए, उनकी उन्नति के लिए काम करें। ये सारी चीज़ें दिल्ली में करके दिखाई हैं, पंजाब में भी होंगी, और आज इसी चीज़ को लेके एक राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर उम्मीद बनी है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की आम आदमी पार्टी की।
सर थोड़ा जल्दबाजी होगी ऐसे सवाल पूछना, लेकिन मैं फिर भी पूछूंगा। दिल्ली अब पंजाब में लगभग सरकार बननी तय है, ये रास्ता अब धीरे धीरे कहाँ तक जाएगा?
रास्ता धीरे धीरे ये जाएगा कि अब इस देश में जो केजरीवाल जी की राजनीति का मूल है, उनकी केजरीवाल मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस का मूल है शिक्षा पे काम करना, स्वास्थ्य पे काम करना, महिलाओं के लिए काम करना, व्यापारियों के लिए ईमानदारी से काम करना, आम आदमी को ईमानदारी की गवर्नेंस देना, रोजगार पे काम करना, जिसका मैंने कहा कि भगत सिंह जी और बाबा साहब का जो सपना था, जैसा देश वो बनाना चाहते थे, अब ये रास्ता उधर जा रहा है। आज देश के हर युवा को उम्मीद है कि उसकी रोजगार की व्यवस्था हो, उसके बच्चों की शिक्षा की व्यवस्था हो, उसके घर में कोई बीमार पड़े तो इलाज की व्यवस्था हो, वो सरकार से कोई काम कराना चाहे तो ईमानदारी से, उसे रिश्वत ना देनी पड़े, उसे दलाली ना देनी पड़े। तो ये सारी चीज़ों पर आज केजरीवाल जी की राजनीति खड़ी है, और केजरीवाल जी का मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस, केजरीवाल मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस दिल्ली में भी सक्सेसफुल हुआ, जनता के फ़ायदे में हुआ, पंजाब में भी लोगों ने मौका दिया है, वहाँ भी आम आदमी का फायदा होगा। वो आम आदमी पार्टी की जीत नहीं है, आम आदमी की जीत है, उसकी ज़िंदगी की जीत है।
सर एक आखिरी सवाल है सर मेरा। पंजाब के साथ साथ आप लोगों की उम्मीदें गोवा और उत्तराखंड से भी थी, लेकिन वैसे नतीजे नहीं आ रहे हैं, जो ट्रेंड्स दिख रहे हैं उसमें ऐसे नतीजे नहीं आ रहे हैं, तो कहाँ पर चूक रह गई? क्योंकि उत्तराखंड और गोवा में भी केजरीवाल मॉडल चल सकता था और वहाँ पर दमखम के साथ आप लड़ रहे थे।
गोवा में और उत्तराखंड में हम पूरी उम्मीद से थे। उत्तर प्रदेश में भी हमने अपने कैंडिडेट उतारे थे, हमने अपने आप को प्रस्तुत किया था, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं जो पूरा फोकस रहा वो पंजाब पे रहा और उसकी वजह से पंजाब में आज विश्वास हुआ लोगों को। धीरे धीरे बाकी जगह भी होगा
आने वाले समय में इन सब राज्यों में।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। अभी तो देखिए पंजाब और दिल्ली में जो काम होंगे सरकारों के, उसको देख के हर जगह लोग कहेंगे कि हमें भी केजरीवाल मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस चाहिए।
सर दिल्ली में आप लोगों की शिकायत रहती थी कि फुल स्टेट नहीं है, पंजाब अब फुल स्टेट।
पंजाब में पूरा स्टेट है और पूरे देश की जनता अब साथ है।
Sonia already hinting at potential national ambitions, the education health model of AAP to be taken forward. Just to look at now those numbers, Rahul, because when we go region by region, you'll see that UP is where we start with Purvanchal. Take a look at what has happened in Purvanchal. In Purvanchal, you can see at the moment that clearly the vote percentage, BJP 10% ahead of SP. This was expected to be the most competitive area. That's also not happened in this election. So you've got 43% playing 33%. How is this translating into seats? In seats also in Purvanchal, as a result, the BJP is well ahead of its rival. So you look at the Purvanchal seat numbers there in a moment and you will see that again the BJP is well ahead. Move from Purvanchal to Awadh. In Awadh also, again BJP with a 6% lead, but the Samajwadi Party has done well. So the consolidation of all anti-BJP forces has come to the Samajwadi Party in Awadh. But when you look at it in seat terms, there's a huge difference in seat terms. In seat terms in particular, you're getting a sense that clearly, look at the margin, 76 place 31, 2:1 in Awadh. So they've held on to their stronghold. Let's turn to Bundelkhand now, because Bundelkhand, the poorer part of Uttar Pradesh, what happened in Bundelkhand this time? 14 to the BJP, just 2 to the SP, virtual sweep, 18 to 1, clear sweep. 19 seats, 18 to the BJP. The poorer parts, large Dalit bastis, but 46%.
But all of this is exactly like we predicted in the exit poll.
Absolutely.
So if you saw an exit poll, what you're seeing, you already know.
So the poorer parts, and I think this is significant going ahead, poorer parts have voted even more strongly for the BJP, 46% in Bundelkhand. The final part is Preeti Chaudhary's favorite part of Western UP. She has an emotional attachment to Western UP.
Why would I have any emotional attachment?
Okay, she doesn't have an emotional attachment. Okay, 46% versus 37. But again, it's a solid 9% lead. Mayawati's traditional area.
14% for Mayawati, do you see that?
So Mayawati has her vote there. That's where the Jatavs
No, but she's lost at least 6% of her vote.
She has cut the seats of the Samajwadi Party in at least 10 seats.
Right.
Where Mayawati and SP combined is way more than the BJP. So she's done the job for the BJP in at least 10 to 12 seats in Western UP.
It wouldn't have made a difference to the final tally, but you're right. And what has happened therefore, what was Mayawati's vote bank, Rahul, when she won in 27? Muslims, Dalits and the upper caste. Upper caste went to the BJP. The Muslims have gone this time to the Samajwadi Party. And even among the Dalits, the Jatavs only have stayed with her. The non-Jatav Dalits have moved to the BJP. Mayawati's vote bank has shrunk beyond measure. And it's a reminder to politicians, don't take the voter for granted.
You are missing one point. Look, the Bharatiya Janata Party has expanded its social base. That is silent social engineering.
Sure.
Is one of the factors that BJP is not shouting. BJP is not associating itself with a particular caste and community. That is the feature of the BJP. Unlike the Congress in the past, Congress party has certain vote bank like Brahmin vote bank and the Muslim vote bank. BJP has not been affiliating with any particular community and caste. That gives BJP, that gives.
So what does 80-20 mean?
That gives.
No, Rakesh Sinha, I will not let you.
Let me finish.
What does 80? No. What does 80-20
Whenever I
mean?
speak about the BJP, you come.
No, I have to ask you a question. What does 80-20 mean?
Let me complete. You know, the BJP gives the space to all the social forces
Except
which are disenchanted with the previous loyalty.
Except Muslims.
No, Muslims are welcome. Shahnawaz Hussain is with us. If you are nationalist, if you are the pro-constitution, pro-democratic. And if you are making a vote bank and trying to blackmail the Indian Republic, no nationalist party will accept you.
Okay, fair enough. Can I just for one last moment turn to my home state of Goa? Because I think Goa is fascinating. Only because it's the only state, Rahul, at the moment where we cannot predict a winner. I'm going to go to the election intelligence.
Why can't you predict a winner? The BJP is leading on 18, they'll form the
Congress,
government.
TMC plus AP?
No,
No,
one
BJP
minute.
is on 18, there's a much
I'll tell you why.
Some of the MGP away from the
You're right.
team.
The BJP has a better chance of forming a government in Goa. But Goa is the one state where I would say at the moment we can't say for sure kaun banega Mukhyamantri. In all other states, I think we can say safely that BJP winning Uttarakhand, BJP winning Manipur, BJP winning UP.
But there is more confusion at 14, 15, at 18. There's very little confusion, Rajdeep.
But remember, these are not final seats.
Oh, sure. But
so if 18 becomes 15 and 13 goes to 15, you have a dead heat in Goa. Possible because South Goa, that's why I wanted the dashboard to come up and perhaps reflect what's happening in Goa. There it comes up nicely. Open sesame. Arre wah.
Chidambaram.
We'll just come region wise, and this is the story of Goa. North Goa, where I live, 12 to the BJP, Congress 5, TMC 3, AAP 0, others 0. So TMC plus is all MGP seats in North Goa. When you come to South Goa, the picture dramatically changes. And that's really the story of Goa at the moment. Just go to South Goa and see how there it is. South Goa, beautiful parts in and around Madgaon, less populated in terms of outside tourists. BJP 6, Congress 8, TMC 2, AAP 1. AAP is making its debut first time. Last time they lost their deposits in all but one seat in Goa. This time they're leading in one. So they've got a bridgehead in Goa as well. TMC leading in 2. These are the Alemaus, Churchill and his daughter. And Congress leading in 8. Now, if that 8 becomes 10 and the BJP goes to 4, you could have a race in Goa. South Goa will now decide whether the BJP forms the government. I expect at 19, 12, anything about 16, BJP forms the government. They need 16. Congress needs 18. You're right. Congress will need minimum of 18 to form a government. Otherwise, at 19, we don't know who will be CM. There'll be a battle for that. But for now, BJP well ahead in the race.
Whoever the BJP wants should be CM will be CM.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
I already know there are 3 contenders have sent me WhatsApp. Please tell us exact numbers. So you can imagine there are 3 people in the BJP eyeing the CM's post in Goa. Yeah.
Well, it's a good problem to have. Much better than the problems the Congress is having this morning.
And you see, this is that's the interesting story. That possibly, if you look at VIPs, let's see what the Chief Minister is doing, Rahul. Because the Chief Minister Pramod Sawant is now leading. 1 minute. He's leading at the moment. So that should be good news for his supporters. He had a tough fight there in that particular seat in Goa. Who else is one of the interesting characters? Utpal Parikar. A lot of attention on the son of Manohar Parikar is now trailing to Babush Montserrat, the strongman of
No, but it shows
Panjim.
how the dynasty had very poor political judgment in Panjim against Babush. Utpal had no chance. Everybody knew it except Utpal. That just shows how dynasty is actually a bad thing because the man had poor political judgment about his own prospects.
That's right. And he was propped by the old BJP, which thinks that a new BJP has taken over
No,
post
the likes
Parikar.
of Amit Shah ji told him that give me 3 seats. We'll give you one of those 3 seats, but he insisted on Panjim, where Babush is too strong. Babush could have broken away and won that seat even outside the BJP, and the BJP knew it. Utpal didn't.
Absolutely. So I think what you've got in Goa is a clear sense again that in tight races, both Uttarakhand and Goa, the BJP's last mile connectivity tends to give it a better chance than the Congress and the fragmentation of the opposition. There's a message in Goa. If you want to fight the BJP, you're going to have to get every element of your battle plan right.
Former Chief Minister trailing, Digambar Kamath is trailing.
This is a big news because Digambar Kamath, remember, is the Congress's
I'm
face.
sorry,
And
he's leading now.
no, he was leading.
Trailing.
He's from Madgaon. Let's just
He's
take a look. Let's be fair. He's at the moment,
he's
leading at the moment. Digambar Kamath leading. He could be the only major congressman who could be a potential chief minister if the numbers change. But at 1912, you're right, Rahul. All 4 states to the BJP.
And that's a big victory. Make no mistake. After West Bengal, it was said that the BJP is suffering anti-incumbency, COVID, economic recession, and everything else that was thrown in their face. Despite those challenges, to win 4 and to lose 1 to the AAP, not to the Congress, just shows how well ensconced the BJP under Prime Minister Modi is ahead of the big battle of 2024. From here, for any party to upturn the direction of 2024. Remember, the tally could potentially still be in question, but to upturn the tally or change the nature of the verdict would require a monumental mismanagement on the part of the BJP, which they've shown, Sandeep Shastri, they don't do. Whenever they make a mistake politically, like the farm laws, economically good, politically bad, they take them back.
Right, right.
So cut their losses.
Yes. In fact, if you to just take an example, if you take Uttarakhand, a party which changes its chief minister 3 times, still managing to do well, and the rival party's candidate Harish Rawat is trailing today. The person who was seen as the prospective Congress chief minister is trailing in his seat. That having changed your chief minister thrice, you still have a strategy to be able to win a state.
No, but Harish Rawat also, because he wanted his daughter to fight, then went off. The Congress people have a particular problem of their own. So he gave up his own seat to his family member, went and fought another seat, and the other seat is trailing. In the rural seat where you originally fought from, you would have done
trailing
fine.
by 14,000 plus votes.
One more thing about the BJP. Even after coming to the power, generally when a political party comes to the power, organizations are neglected. What BJP has done, undiluted, undiminished efforts to build up the party organization at the grassroots level. You just see during the COVID regime, how Prime Minister and the party President Nadda ji taking meeting with the workers, directing them to go to the people. So I think this is party now all 365 days were active among the people. Congress lacks the organization base. It is no organization. There are leaders but no organization. There are press release but no ideology. So such party cannot make a mass appeal to the people only on the basis of propaganda and some outside support. What I think that constant expansion of the BJP, region-wise, caste-wise, community-wise, that is important thing. And we should come out from the traditional assessment of the politics that if this caste is particularly tagged with this part. Majority of them that, but there is now dilution. Even you go and survey in Jadava, there are certain people, there are certain sections, they are voting for the BJP. So that is the one thing that we are thinking only on the traditional basis of voting pattern.
No, this
the
is
chemistry
true.
has changed now.
BJP under Prime Minister Modi, with the help of Amit Shah, has rewritten the political grammar of this country. The whole idea that BJP is an upper caste, Brahmin, Thakur party is no longer true. They've rebuilt their social coalition not as a one-off, but as a consistent trend and entrenched themselves far deeper than any party since the Congress at its peak, suggesting that it will not be if anybody as a political observer is thinking there'll be an immediate demise of the BJP. From the structure that they've built, it either holds, grows or consolidates, and even if it comes down by chipping away at the margins like the Congress. You know, this whole idea of Congress, Bharat took a lot of time, it didn't happen immediately. The Congress has been in terminal decline for a long time.
You see, 2 things have coincided. The decline of the Congress and the rise of the BJP. You know, it's almost as if at 2012-13 was an inflection point. They owe a lot of credit to Arvind Kejriwal and Anna Hazare. We can discuss that on another day because they opened the window and the BJP, typical of the BJP, rushed through that little window of opportunity that was provided. And since then, there's been only one way that they've gone, which is up. They've actually upped the game. They've made politics more competitive. Rajat Sethi, you work closely with the BJP managers at times. What is it about their election machine? Even in Bengal, they lost but grew from a party of 3 seats in 2016 to 70 odd seats in 2021. What is it what is it distinctive according to you about the BJP machine?
See, on one hand, we were talking about these echo chambers, the way they were operating, they're trying to, forcefully find 1 or 2 voters, amplify those voices who were against the BJP and try to set the narrative. On the other hand, across all states, what BJP was doing is identifying their beneficiaries who they've benefited through various schemes on every single booth. In every single booth, they reached out 3 to 4 to 5 times to every single beneficiary and told them that, did you get the benefits? This was the government which ensured that the last mile delivery of all of these developmental accessories are reaching the people. That is how BJP quietly worked through this campaign away from the shrill of the crowds that Samajwadi Party was able to attract. Crowds, I'm telling you, this is a very important phenomenon. This happened in Bihar. Over there also Tejasvi was able to attract crowds. But these Yadav voters are largely more vocal voters in Uttar Pradesh as well as in Bihar. And you see the results.
Point taken. Sheila, you saw the BJP of Advani Vajpayee. Now we are seeing the BJP of Shah Modi. What's the difference?
Very big difference.
What's the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is the aggressiveness.
Aggressiveness.
Killer instinct. They have a guts and a chati to go for whole hog Hindu identity. No of ifs and buts. They really went for it. Not giving ticket in 2014 was a very big
Okay,
thing.
let's go straight across to Samar Srivastav joining us from Lucknow. He has Jitin Prasad, switched sides from the Congress to the BJP. Obviously did it at the right time. Let's listen in. Samar, go ahead. Samar.
So yes, we have got Jitin Prasad with us, senior BJP leader. So we'll try to speak to him. Jitin, how's your day? Because it has been a day for BJP so far.
Yes, of course, it's a great day for all of us here in the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's, the people of UP have, started giving their mandate, and you can see the trends which are totally in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the sole credit of this election, of course, the Prime Minister's leadership, which has been seen that he transcends all caste boundaries and regions. And in Uttar Pradesh, the Chief Minister Yogi Ji, his hard work and dedication, the people have, respected that. They have given the mandate. You can see where it's a landslide victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh.
It was said that it could be a neck-to-neck fight, but what we are seeing the numbers right now, BJP is clearly leading.
No, there was only, this is a false propaganda. और ये मैं हिंदी में बता सकता हूँ आपको, ये सत्ता की लड़ाई नहीं थी. ये तो संस्कार, संस्कृति और सभ्यता बचाने का संघर्ष था, जिसके प्रतीक हैं प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी और योगी जी. जो हमारे देश की संस्कृति है, सभ्यता है, जो संस्कार हैं, वो देखा है कि जनता का आशीर्वाद मिला है. और आप देख सकते हैं कि सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश नहीं, पूरे देश भर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का डंका बज रहा है.
What do you think? What moved voters towards the Saffron Party?
Of course, it is the sole leadership that Bharatiya Janata Party delivers, is commitment to the people. And you can see the big ticket items of development that the Bharatiya Janata Party had done in the past 5 years, and the future that the vision of the Prime Minister at the national stage and in the state, the Chief Minister, their wholehearted commitment and focus on the people.
Samar, can I ask one question?
And the people have respected and given us, we are very happy that...
Yes.
Samar, can I ask one question to Jitin Ji? Since he worked in the Congress and BJP, what is the biggest difference he has seen between Congress and BJP style of functioning?
Rajdeep sir is on the line. He has just asked one question. What's the difference between Congress functioning in Congress and BJP, as you have been both?
No, like I said, Bharatiya Janata Party reflects the people's aspirations and is the people's party. And the leadership is totally dedicated, committed to the cause that the people are first and nobody else. And as far as I have said that before also, the Congress party and the people of Uttar Pradesh, there's a great divide. They don't reflect the sentiment of the people anymore.
Your take on Congress's role in Uttar Pradesh? Your take on Congress role in
I already told you that the divide between the people and the Congress party is so much, they don't reflect the sentiment of the people anymore. That is what is the problem there. And as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party, I have seen the top leadership till the worker. Everyone is committed to the cause. There is a 24/7 machinery. There is not only for elections, it's round the clock, round the year. Every time the whole focus is the people.
But Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is also visible on the ground.
Visible is not the only criteria. You have to deliver, you have to respect the people's mandate, you have to live up to the expectations, the aspirations, and full time to the cause.
Jitin, what's your take on Akhilesh Yadav blaming EVM and administration?
Well, those are issues that you'll have to ask him. As far as we are concerned, we are always very confident. The people of Uttar Pradesh have reposed faith in the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's history in the making, where Uttar Pradesh has never repeated a government, and this time, not only a repeat, but a record mandate.
Final question, Jitin. Next target for the next...
No, the target is people, and their cause, and their upliftment, and their work. That's what we are dedicated to, and that's what our focus is.
Thank you so much, and all the best for the next government. So he is Jitin Prasad. He is clearly confident that BJP is all set to make another benchmark in the coming government, and yes, he is happy. Back to you.
Samar, thanks very much for that interesting interview. The difference between the Congress style and the BJP style. Jitin Prasad saying Congress disconnected with the people. Who would disagree on a day like this? Ashwini Kumar, former Congress leader, he too has left the party. Mr. Kumar, you're from Punjab. AAP, historic victory. There's much talk that you may be joining the AAP soon. But either way, will you tell us today, I told you so?
Well, of course, I'm going to tell you I told you so. I've said it on every single channel that AAP was a tsunami waiting to hit Punjab. But there were people who are blind and there were people who are deaf, who would just not look or hear. And I said so.
Who are
on
these
the
people?
basis of a very intensive engagement in Punjab. Well, there were people in all political formations who just didn't believe what was going to come. And I think what has happened now, the larger political message of the victory of AAP in Punjab is that a new national political narrative is in the offing, in which parties like AAP and TMC will have a predominant role, and the Congress party, and I hate to say so, and I say so with some sadness, would be relegated to the margins, even as one of the actors in the national alternative narrative, which is being scripted right now.
No,
And
you're
also there's
making a
another
huge
clear
point.
message.
You're
The
saying
return
that
of
TMC
BJP
and
in-
Congress,
just one
TMC
minute.
and AAP
One
will take
minute.
over the Congress's space?
Well, of course they will, and they have taken over. And I'm now trying to tell you another thing. The return of BJP in UP also demonstrates that BJP is and will for some years remain the dominant pole in India's politics. So therefore, there will be two poles, one led by BJP and the other led by a national alternative, a new alternative, in which AAP and TMC and regional parties will have a very predominant role. And that is being scripted right now.
No, but
That is why I
Ashwini
say
ji,
these
when you come
spectacular
to,
victories.
you know, it's the day that you decided to leave the Congress that we invited you to join us at the Panchayat that we were doing at that time on the Punjab elections. And you said that because the Congress has its strategy wrong, that you're leaving, and you predicted that AAP would win, which is what's happened. But many in the Congress, very senior leaders, called me after that and said Ashwini is doing this for selfish reasons. He's doing it because he wanted a ticket for his son. He doesn't have the larger interest of the Congress because we didn't give him a ticket for his son.
Could you, hello?
Yeah, I hear you well, sir.
Hello?
I hear you.
Hello? Voice?
We hear you fine. Okay, we'll get Ashwini Kumar back. But this is the challenge, that you've got the old guard upset very clearly, but the people close to Rahul Gandhi say they're upset for personal reasons, not because they have an ideological problem with what's happening, but because of their personal self-interest.